Hello viewers and welcome to a brand new episode of Mechanic Brewery Season 6, where I talk about the various homebrew mechs created by the Lancer community. In today's episode, Chamber, from Harrison Armory, by the feeler of it. Blast Chamber, no not the PlayStation 1 game that looks like a lucid dream, also known as Contained Detonation Chamber, is a device used to destroy munitions and explosives safely in a closed chamber, hence the name. Yeah, I know this is not a person, kinda weird and experimental really. Named after the device, Chamber, is exactly the same thing. I can't exactly segue it with fancy lines since it's exactly it. Looking at its stats, Chamber is a massive boy with a thick 3 armor, with average health, and evasion plus speed barely better than that of a stationary rock. Its E-defense is just as bad, but at least it has plenty of heat cap. It could ask for more repair cap really. Its sensor, tech attack, and base system points are also bad, but it has a very high save target and that's good for what it will be doing. Before I talk about its traits, I will just say it's straight that this frame is not remotely balanced. Look at the art, it's asymmetrical as fuck. Anyway, Chamber has 4 traits. First, where explosions go to die, Chamber has resistance to damage, burn, and heat from blast or burst attack centered on its spaces. So the GM just won't do that. Well, they won't have a choice, as any blast or burst attack or effect that includes Chamber in its area of effect will automatically be centered on Chamber. Even if it's impossible, Chamber may also perform a hull check to negate all damage and effects from the blast or burst, including all characters and objects within its area. In short, Chamber can both parry the nuke and become the nuke, eat your heart out Manticore, and it's only going to get more ridiculous from here. Second, paracausal meltdown. When Chamber would explode due to reactor meltdown while above 0 stress, it may perform a hull check to not do that, and restore 1 limited charge to time bomb of Damocles if it's missing charges. Truly a classic Harrison Armory trick, seeing other frame melting down and be like skill issue. Third, containment ejection, weapon and system mounted on Chamber with a blast effect must be fired as a burst, with the radius depending on the blast value. Attack and effects Chamber does as burst ignore ranged penalty from engagement, do not damage, burn, or cook up adjacent allies. Remember to keep the word adjacent in mind, and any damage they do gains armor piercing. Okay, I'm actually fine with most of that, but damage being armor piercing seems kinda like a step too far. But in short, this makes Chamber a frame that can really absorb most explosions and also explode every enemy around it without collateral, as long as your allies are close to you. I'm not sure how it works with 2 Chamber on field. And lastly, slow. You already know what this does. As for its weapon mounts, it has 2, 1 main and 1 heavy, decent for something this funky. As for its core system, Chamber has an integrated systems called Time Bomb of Damocles. It's a deployable grenade systems with burst 3 wide effect that is just really weird. It cannot be activated manually, and instead will fire at the end of your turn if you have any limited charge. Even when you cannot act, characters in the area must pass agility save or take AP damage equal to your ticking charges, gained from the core passive of Chamber that I will explain later. You also consume all ticking charge on use. If you decide to use where explosions go to die trait on this and succeed on the hull check, the effect will be nullified, but the limited charge won't be consumed and the damage is double of your ticking charge instead. This multiplier can go up to triple at max, but resets at the end of the scene or until the time bomb is used. As for the core passive, Chamber has one called ticking. When you make an attack, or create a blast or burst effect, or when Chamber successfully nullifies something with where explosions go to die trait, you store a charge of ticking up to a max of 12, if unused. This reset at the end of the scene. So, this is a lot. It's an integrated core system that can deal up to 36 AP damage in a burst 3 radius at max power, but the amount of hoops you have to jump through for it is a lot. That said, you will be completing half of the requirements anyway by being Chamber. Plus, even if you have more limited charges from engineering or something, you don't want to use this thing with barely any ticking charges, so you will try to hold it back for bigger damage anyway. And remember, you can still get more charges via nuclear meltdown, which you will do often as an armory frame anyway. As for its core power, Chamber can activate paracasually contained detonation Chamber for the final hour, with a quick action, restore a limited charge to time bomb if it's missing charges. For the rest of the scene, Chamber gain double the ticking charges, and for once per scene, when Chamber has 12 ticking charges, it may teleport to any spaces within range 50 as a free action, and damage from Time Bomb of Damocles that turn cannot be reduced in any way possible. In summary, Chamber is the bomb, that's because it is one run for your life. Jesus Christ fucking run. As for the rest of the license, You get scatter bomb charges and paracasual total containment vessel in the first section. Scatter bomb charges, these names leave nothing for imagination. It's a grenade mine systems with 2 limited charges that can be activated with a quick action. First, for grenade mode, you can throw a scatter bomb charge within range 5. All characters in Blast 2 must make agility save or take 1d6 plus 1 explosive damage. Then, pick another 3 spaces within range 3 of the original blast and make Blast 1 zone in them. All characters in these zones must make another agility save or take 1d3 plus 1 explosive. These areas may not overlap with each other or the original blast. In mine mode, it's exactly the same except as a mine, with a bigger burst 3 dealing 2d6 plus 1 damage that split into 6 freaking explosives within range 3 of the original burst, creating Blast 2 areas each. Then the description says the pattern, then proceed as described above. I think the rule as intended here is that anyone in them must pass agility or take 2d6 plus 1 again, but if you read it literally, it means infinite explosions. This shit is straight up broken, literally, because it's impossible. The area of effect is so wide they will overlap, so this system is actually unusable. It's a lot of rolling for not that much of a better effect, to be completely honest. Paracasual total containment vessel, eat that bomb. This is a systems that grants you a reaction, for once per round, when an ally within sensor is about to be blown up by a blast or burst attack or effect, or just an effect that deals explosive damage. You can now become its only valid target. You can't move the bomb elsewhere.
Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
Just make the bomb only bomb you instead. This doesn't just redirect blast or burst weapons, but effects with blast or burst pattern too, so it's actually pretty powerful, and sometimes, the cost of you is better than the cost of everyone in your team. Besides chamber frame itself, you also get space heater and bomb pack in the second section. Space heater, no it doesn't microwave your tea, is a heavy CQB weapon that's rather inaccurate, give you 1 heat upon firing, and overkill. It has decent threat but short range with blast 2 effect, doing a somewhat okay damage for a heavy, plus 2 heat on the target. After firing, you leave behind a burst 2 area of soft cover until the start of your next turn. This also inflict an amount of heat equal to 1 plus the number of time you rolled overkill to any character that start their turn or enter it. Only one area can exist at a time, the most recent replaces the previous one. It's essentially like a daisy cutter, but in all the way it isn't. Being able to apply 2 heat and more on attack or with a hot vape cloud is pretty good. This can both be used offensively and defensively as an area denial. It's pretty good, but will cook you up with overkill and that many damage dices. Bomb pack, definitely not a bomb, is a system that upon activation with a quick, will replace your standard movement module and begin sucking in energy. You are now resistant to explosive damage, but you are also immobilized. Whenever you take or deal explosive damage, store a charge on the pack. As a free action on your turn, you can move a number of space in a straight line equal to the amount of charges stored in the bomb pack, ignoring engagement and not provoking reactions, then it loses half of its remaining charges. This free action ignores the effects of slowed and immobilized. You may do this multiple times per turn as long as there are charges remaining. Do you want to explode your way into victory? I guess this is one way to do it. The main benefit with this system is that even if you are slowed or immobilized, you don't care, as long as you can deal or take explosive damage. If purposely built, it might even be better than moving for some frames, since you can use it multiple times as a free action. In the final section, you get controlled blast ventilation and real space chamber cannon. Controlled blast ventilation, warning, keep clear, upon activation with a quick action, until the start of your next turn, heat radiated out in a burst 1 area around you. Characters that start their turn or enter it for the first time in a round must pass engineering or take explosive damage equal to your current heat. Whenever you take explosive damage during this time, you take 2 heat, and force everyone within the burst to roll save again even if they have done so already. If you would overheat from this, resolve the effect before cooking yourself alive. Once this effect ends, clear all heat. So, this systems is simultaneously a more dangerous explosive vent and Agni, considering its sheer power, since this is a Harrison Armory frame and we all know how hot they can get, plus the auto-cooling effect afterward. This feels like it should be activated with a full action instead of quick. And finally, real space chamber cannon, instant delivery, or die trying. It's a mid-range super heavy cannon with good damage and blast 3 radius. It's also seeking because it's just teleporting a bomb, but it will give you 3 heat and you need to reload after each shot. Also there's a quirk. On attack, when you roll a 1, the bomb drops on your feet. However, if the weapon area effect touches you in any way possible, you have resistance to it. It is also not unloaded, which means you can fire again next turn, and it also deal 1d6 additional explosive damage to all targets in its area. which means as long as you are in its blast radius, you will do more damage. Anything is worth it for the sake of more damage, right? And that's basically it on Chamber, an explosive absorbing frame that loves exploding everyone just as much, that also kinda needs more work done on it. Anyway, that's all for now, and I will see you all next time. Hello there, if you like this video, please subscribe and click that notification bell button. If you want to see the videos early as well as further support my channel, you can join in my Patreon page, or buy me some coffee, links in the description. Anyway, have a nice day.